Have you recently switched to a dairy-free diet and you suddenly realize your old protein powder is off the table? Or maybe you've heard that most conventional protein powders are loaded with fillers, artificial sweeteners, gums, and even heavy metals. And now you're wondering what's safe, what's clean, and what's a protein powder alternative you actually can buy that tastes good and is good for you. If you're anything like me or my clients, you're probably standing in your protein aisle or searching endlessly on your phone and you feel completely overwhelmed. Protein powders can be expensive and you want to know where to start that actually might taste good and feel good for you. There are so many options, and let's be honest, not all of them taste great and not all of them are good for your gut. That's why today I'm breaking down the top 10 healthy, dairy-free, gluten-free, gut-friendly protein powders that my clients and I personally use and love. I'm going to walk you through who each powder is best for, what my clients like about these protein powders, and what makes each one a great fit depending on your digestion and gut health needs. So make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to be revealing our top recommendations last. And also at the end, I'm going to give you a quick summary of which protein powders to try first, depending on what's going on in your body, whether you're dealing with things like candida or you're wanting a plant-based option or you need something for a super sensitive gut. As we head into the holiday season with traveling, treats, and routine changes, protein powder can be a great way to continue and get in your protein needs while you go. And I hope these recommendations give you some easy, delicious ways to support your gut, your energy, and your taste buds. Hey friend, welcome to the Better Belly Podcast. If you're currently trying endless supplements, doctor visits, and diet changes to heal your mystery symptoms, you are in the right place. We're here to solve the real root causes behind your gut, hormones, skin, sleep, and brain concerns. Literally anything and everything in your body. My name is Allison Jordan. I'm a functional medicine practitioner that has supported over 150 clients just like you to heal problems that no one has been able to fix. You don't need a perfect diet or a random supplement you found on Instagram to heal. You need a proven system that heals your whole body from the inside out. That's what I'm here to share with you, episode by episode. It's time to make health easy again. And just as a reminder, this information is not meant to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your own health practitioner before you make any changes to your health. All right. So shout out to all my wonderful clients who helped me write this episode. They've been wanting it for a while, and it's definitely a topic of conversation that's very common inside of our group coaching program for the Better Belly Blueprint. People are often just texting and saying, okay, I got my food sensitivity results. I'm sensitive to XYZ. I now can no longer use certain protein powders. What are you guys using? So I love all of our clients. And honestly, a lot of these things that people have shared represents trial and error for people. So this is really helpful information and I'm super excited to share with you guys. So the first seven, I think it's 6 or 7, are not in any particular order. It's just I'm going to shout out, how many people recommended it and what people liked about it. But towards the end, those are going to be things that got a lot more votes and also get a little bit more juicy. So just you wait. Number 10, we're going to go from 10 all the way up to 1. Number 10, Whole Betty Vanilla Protein. This was recommended by one client. The reason she liked it, it's got clean ingredients. She says for her, it has a great taste, it's really easy for her to use on a day-to-day basis. And because of the great flavor and her kids liking it, she said it's great for kids, good for picky eaters, good for people who like smoothies because she puts it in her smoothies. Again, I haven't used this one, and for a lot of these, I haven't used all of them because I kind of found the ones I like, and they work for my diet and for my gut and my energy. But I wonder too, I bet this vanilla protein might be really great for things like baking, etc. I haven't tried it, but if it's good for smoothies, It's going to be good for baking. It is a vegan blend and has really, really minimal additional ingredients. And I guess let me clarify real quick when I say like minimal fillers. It doesn't have any of the traditional fillers that we're going to be avoiding, like gums. It does all of their natural flavors. They say on their website come from actual vanilla. So it's like an actual plant-based flavor that they have coconut milk powder in it. So if you can't do coconut for any reason, this will not be your one. It has monk fruit as a sweetener. So I know a lot of our clients don't feel great on stevia or don't love the flavor. So I love that it's made with monk fruit because I personally find monk fruit more tolerable. But again, if you don't like monk fruit, this is not going to be the one for you. And then the protein, it's a blend. So there's pea protein, pumpkin seed, cranberry seed, and chia seed. So a lot of those tend to be very doable. Not a lot of our clients are getting sensitivities to those, but it's nice that it has that blend. And again, that being that I haven't had it, I wonder compared to things that are maybe just pea protein blends, which we have some of those recommendations later here. Maybe it gives like a different weight to it or a different consistency, a different flavor. So that is, I think, a total win and something to try out. Okay, so the next one is organic pumpkin seed protein. And this one's really cool because this client didn't even recommend a brand, but I hadn't even fully gotten into this. But there's so many different ways to buy organic pumpkin seed protein. So first off, pumpkin seed on its own, it's a seed. So it's not going to be, if you have issues with nuts or peas or beef, any of those things where we're going to have other protein powders that have those, this is going to be great, like low reactivity alternative for you. It's mineral rich. It's going to have magnesium support already built into it with the seed. And it's also really low oxalate. So if you are familiar with oxalates, this is going to be a great alternative for you. There's a lot of options online, even just on Amazon, of things that are vanilla flavored pumpkin seed that's organic, unflavored, sweetened, unsweetened. You can buy it in bulk. There's a lot of different ways to work it, which is going to be a great way that you could potentially just make and mix your own protein powders. Or if you're just looking for a protein powder to add into something like pumpkin muffins, or I'm sure you don't even have to be pumpkin flavor. I would like to call it my viral high protein breakfast chocolate muffins. I have it in my recipe book that you can go and grab, betterbellytherapies.com/recipes, or click the link in the show notes. That is something that like you could probably swap out what I recommend in there 1-to-1 for this, especially if it's unflavored, because what I use is unflavored when I make these muffins. So I love the variety and versatility and how you can buy it in a lot of different ways depending on your needs and depending on your preferences. So I'm going to put an option in the show notes, but just look up organic pumpkin seed protein powder, and there's a lot of different options for how you can buy it, flavored, unflavored, etc. All right, number 8, hemp protein. So this was recommended by one client, but another client also jumped on board and said this is awesome. Again, another option where there was not a specific brand mentioned, but you can get it in a lot of different ways. And so this is going to help it's going to have a lot of plant protein with natural fiber. It can be helpful for motility support if you have some mild constipation. Please note, though, that some people will be worse on fiber when there's constipation. It has to do with your gut microbiome already being out of balance. If you want to know more about that, let me go and drop my podcast episode on why like fiber, magnesium, water isn't helping your constipation. I had grabbed a bunch of episodes before doing this. All right, it's going to be episode 178. I want to give you guys lots of resources. If that is you at all, where you're like, I am dealing with constipation, my, laxatives aren't working, or laxatives are the only thing that work, but other things like magnesium doesn't work, or maybe you've even noticed that fiber or probiotics or magnesium make you feel worse, more bloated, more pressure, but like not pooping, then you're not alone. There is a reason for that. Hemp protein might not be the best option for you, and do go listen to my episode 178 in the show notes on why that is and what to do instead. There is a solution. I would not have started this podcast without a better solution to constipation than what we have out there. So, yeah, that's just my clinical note on that, is that fiber can help, but it can also potentially irritate. But again, hemp protein, it's not dairy, there's no grains, there's no nuts. And there's a variety of ways that you can get it organic in kind of a bulk way, flavored, unflavored, etc. And I'll put a link in the show notes to one that you guys can go check out. All right. The next one is Flav City Almond Protein. I'm going to pull it up here. Flav City Almond Protein. And this was recommended by one client. She really liked it. It's nut-based. It's not legume-based. She was having more issues with things like peas and pea protein, which is, again, it was a very common alternative that people initially respond to. And it's something I do see, like if you're at Costco or things like that, you have like all the whey powders, so the dairy products, and then there's a lot more pea protein. And so if you can't do legumes, peas are going to potentially be an issue for you. So it's not legume based, which is great if you're okay with nuts. So, Flav City Protein. I know that she really likes the flavor. I'm seeing one here that's chocolate peanut butter flavor, which is epic. They have a lot of flavors. Look at this. Butter coffee, brownie batter, chocolate peanut butter. They've got their branding down for flavor names. Who doesn't want to eat brownie batter? Berries and cream. She didn't recommend a specific flavor here, but it is just generally recommended by this client for the flavor. Looks like they have a bit more ingredients in it. So this is probably part of the flavoring and maybe part of how they get it to be sweet. So this one I'm looking at right now, that is Flav City's chocolate peanut butter protein smoothie. There's organic banana powder in it, peanut powder, cocoa, coconut milk powder, so coconut might be an issue, sea salt, and then they do have some mushrooms, so cordyceps reishi, stevia, and monk fruit, which I find that the blend of stevia and monk fruit is a sweetener flavor that I prefer the most. Not just monk fruit and not just stevia, but that is what I'm seeing here. And they have a lot of stuff. Magical Berry Kids. So many things that you could try. Very fun branding if you're into that. And we will put a link in the show notes for them. All right. Next one is Paleo Valley Beef Protein. So beef protein came up as a big thing for people because it's also extremely low reactive. It's kind of on the level of being on a carnivore diet. We're not going to dive into the whole carnivore diet thing here right now, but carnivore diets can be helpful if you're having reactions to plant-based foods, or just plants. So that's going to be fruits, veggies, starches, potatoes. We're still talking in the realm of whole foods, but people can react to it because of things like oxalates or salicylates or lectins, and meat doesn't have any of that. I think that is one of the reasons why the carnivore diet is becoming so successful for people with chronic health issues, is because it just is getting rid of large swaths of potential irritants. The issue with the carnivore diet, I think, is when people are going on it and then they don't know what it is why they're feeling better. Okay, I'm better on meat, but what is it about the veggies or the things I'm avoiding? Is it the carbs in that food? Is it the wheat? Is it oxalates? Is it lectins? I do have a podcast episode on oxalates. If you're not familiar with that term or you're sort of familiar with it, it is going to be episode... I meant to grab it and it's not here. I'm glad I went and looked. Oxalates. Episode 148, why you should care about oxalates. I do find that people don't often know about oxalates, and they can be a huge driver to issues like bloating, brain fog, chronic pain, kidney stones, even have a big role in chronic pain issues like fibromyalgia. Oxalates have a impact on the whole body, and it's not ultimately just about controlling them with diet. Though reducing oxalate intake through your diet when you have an oxalate overload issue will help your symptoms, but the root cause is somewhere else. And I talk about that in that podcast episode. So if you know about it, or you're having issues with bloating that you haven't resolved, or you do feel better on a carnivore diet and you haven't figured out fully why and what your root causes are, go check out that episode. But Paleo Valley beef protein is number 6. That's what we're talking about here. It's a beef isolate. Again, extremely low reactivity as long as you're not sensitive to beef. And it's going to be great for clients with autoimmune conditions, people who get, GI issues from plant proteins or plant products. So you're going to be good if it's the low FODMAP diet. You're going to be good if it's the elemental diet. There's a lot of different diets this could fit with, and especially even the carnivore diet if you're looking for something. So I'm going to go pull it up and go look at it real quick. Paleo Valley beef protein. Paleo Valley. They have a bunch of competitors who are throwing ads to get in front of them first. It's grass-fed. They do have several flavors. Let's see here. I can see some of them. Where are all of them? Why do they not want to show me? Choose flavors. Unflavored, great option always. Chocolate, vanilla, salted caramel, savory, original. I do not know what that tastes like. That's very interesting. And turmeric ginger, which I don't know if I've ever seen a turmeric ginger protein powder. So that's super interesting. All right. If we go and look at, I'm really curious what vanilla has inside of it, because curious how they sweeten it. All right. They do say that for chocolate, vanilla, and salted caramel, it's great for mixing with milk, coffee, or water. Boosting your protein in your cakes, muffins, or pancakes, one of my favorite uses of protein powder, and then blending into smoothies and shakes to start your day. And then for unflavored, they talk about stir it into coffee, smoothies, baked goods, upgrade your soups, stews, and sauces, minus any taste change, and supply simply mixing into water for pure essential minerals and amino acids. It's gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, no chemicals or solvents. 30 servings per bag. No, never given antibiotics, steroids, or hormones. It's 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef bones. Okay, here we go. Nutrient facts. For vanilla, coconut milk powder is the base. So there's a lot of coconut milk in all these options. Vanilla flavor, luo wango, which is monk fruit, Himalayan sea salt or pink salt, Ceylon cinnamon, and then just a disclaimer, it contains coconut. Very similar thing for the salted caramel and the chocolate. And then unflavored chocolate, vanilla, salted caramel. Savory original has carrot. Has a lot of stuff in this. Look at this. Carrot, medium chain triglyceride oil powder, so MCT, oil, organic onion, organic tomato, organic black pepper, organic shiitake mushroom, organic parsley leaf, organic vegetable blend, so Brussels sprouts, broccoli, onion, tomato. Yeah, this could be not a great option if you're trying to do things like low oxalate. They have a lot of high oxalate foods in here, like broccoli. They have some that are low oxalate like carrot, but it's going to be a more issue. I've had clients have tomato issues, but if you have no issues with that, it could be a very interesting thing. I'm wondering if that just tastes good in soups or on its own if you are a bone brothy person and like savory things. Very, very interesting. So that is it for grass-fed protein powder. Another great option if you're having a lot of issues, if you have oxalates come up high on your organic acids test or salicylates come up high on your organic acids test, and you just find that you have a lot of foods that are not options for you anymore, it's going to be a great option. All right. This next one is super fun. One of my clients found it, and it's called True Nutrition Custom Protein Builder. So it's actually a protein powder that you can build yourself and, include what you can do and eliminate what you can't. Now, you might not know those things right now listening, but if you are someone who's done testing, you're currently I'll say I know we're going to have so many clients listen to this. So you're currently in the Better Belly Blueprint program, you're going through it. If you just feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, this is going to be a great place to check out. So I'm actually going to go to their website, hit start customizing. It says step 1, choose a variety of protein, carb, and fat powders. So you can probably, looks like you can control even other macro mineral intake, which is kind of fun. If you're trying to do more meal replacement, you might want to have some carbs and fats in your protein powder. Step 2, choose a flavor you like and the intensity. Step 3, choose up to 4 boosts for your mix. 4 boosts. That'll be fun to see what they have. And then name and review your mix details and add to cart. So they've got whey protein, isolate, concentrate. They have a lot of whey protein options. Grass-fed whey protein. They all are priced by the pound. So it's almost like you're buying like at a, it just says like $19 per pound when you can buy loose goods at a grocery store and just put it into a bag, but I'm sure they mix it for you. So grass-fed whey protein, whey, heavy whey protein. So a lot of whey. If you can do whey and you're kind of into that, that's going to be a great option. Egg white protein, whole egg protein, pea protein, rice protein, soy protein, grass-fed, beef collagen, multi-collagen, porcine collagen, marine collagen, grass-fed, beef protein isolate, hemp, alfalfa, cran plus, pumpkin plus. And they have more info by all of these. Let's see. I'm curious if they include how much protein. You can pick. So I just clicked pumpkin plus protein, which is $19.50 per pound. And then I can choose how much percentages. And then I'm like, okay, alfalfa. And then right now they're both at 50-50, but if I can increase or decrease them by 5% at a time. That is amazing. That is so specific, y'all. You can get so in the details with how you want to do this for different reasons. Wow. Awesome. All right. I've got my proteins. I have some flavor. There's unflavored unsweetened, chocolate fudge, French vanilla, peanut butter cup, fudge brownie, cookies and cream. And then you can pick light, regular, or heavy for the intensity. Now, the one thing I'm not seeing right now. Okay, so at the top, I didn't see this. They have all. You can put everything, like all the flavors and ingredients. And then you have one where it's stevia, then one that's monk fruit, and one that's sucralose. Now, sucralose is one of the ones. It is a sugar alcohol or an artificial sweetener. It's super sweet, so it's really effective at being sweet. But it can give people a lot of gas and bloating issues because sucralose, it will feed gut bacteria and cause them to overpopulate more than what they're already at. Now, if you don't already have gut issues, a lot of people, sucralose might not actually cause that issue. But if you are having overpopulation issues, and that's usually a part of the chronic illness disease, you have low stomach acid and H. pylori and mold toxicity, and you have an overgrowth of gut microbiome, gut bacteria in your gut, and that's causing the bloating and all these stuff, right? You're going to want to avoid things like probiotics. You're going to want to avoid things like sucralose and artificial sweeteners that really make those bacteria go crazy. But it's nice that they split them out. They have 2 options for monk fruit, which is cacao and vanilla bean. And for stevia, that's where they got that true flavor, French vanilla, cookies and cream. I'm curious if the cookies and cream is gluten-free ? And I'm not seeing information. I think I do see out down here what I've already picked, what I've already confirmed in my cart. There's a nutrition facts at the bottom. So it says, this is really amazing, guys. 130 calories, 22 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 2.5 grams of fat, 0 grams of sugar. I'm going to pick cookies and cream because I'm really curious if I can figure out if it has any gluten in it. It does say the flavor's non-GMO. Okay, now that I added, I'm going to go back to my nutrition facts. Flavoring, natural flavors, guar gum, stevia leaf. So it does have guar gum. It has gums in it. So if that's something you're trying to avoid, that might not be your friend. And then here's boosts. We have colostrum, psyllium, seed husk fiber, maca powder, ashwagandha, turmeric, multivitamin, cordyceps, mushroom, probiotic. Just like generally says probiotic. Adds 1 billion CFU of probiotics. Lion's mane mushroom, hemp boost. Amino acids, carb enzyme boost, electrolyte boost, So definitely just interesting stuff. It depends on what you know about yourself. Some of these might not be the best options. Like I know right off the bat that adding probiotics to any of these can make your symptoms way worse if you are dealing with issues like candida, SIBO, even, and especially if you don't know you're dealing with those issues, it's going to be more like you're dealing with issues of bloating. Then you take a probiotic and you feel worse. It might not be all the other ingredients, but it might be that you added this probiotic. So simpler is probably better if you're having a lot of symptoms, that if you're building something like this, just do iterations, like one type of protein powder. As long as you feel good on that, then the next time you can add a different like your first boost. And as long as you feel good on that blend, that would be an iterative thing I would recommend for your custom protein mix. And then looks like you can pick what it comes in, like a bag or a plastic jug. Very interesting. I'm glad I went through that with you guys as like a new person too. I think there's a lot of power in that, and that's super flexible. So thank you to my client who recommended that. That was really great. It is going to be just some things here. It's going to be safe for people who are celiacs, ultra sensitive guts, people who react to everything, because you can really build things out the way that you need to. All right. Number 4. So this is where we start getting into like my recommendations, things I really enjoy, things that we had multiple people recommend. And it doesn't mean that they're going to be perfect for everybody, but they're going to be some good options. So number 4, collagen protein. This is what I like to use. I like to use a unflavored, unsweetened collagen protein in my double chocolate muffins that I have in our recipe book. It's what my daughter and I eat for breakfast most days. Right now we've been eating pumpkin muffins because 'tis the season, and I'm using that same protein powder. It's just a collagen protein powder that I buy at Costco, and we use it in that. There's not one collagen protein powder that I personally recommend or work with. I do find that it's nice to buy it from places like Costco in terms of cost effectiveness. And you could do everything, like I don't do this, but you could try marine-based collagen. So that's fish. You could try beef collagen. You could try porcine, whatever, depending on your food sensitivities or maybe even religious needs. There's different options here. So the big thing with collagen, the reason it's not number 1 is that there's a big issue that if you have a candida overgrowth in your gut, candida can convert collagen into oxalates because it's part of its metabolism. And so that's one of the reasons people have oxalate issues, is because they have a candida overgrowth in their gut. And fun fact for anybody who's like listening, be like, yeah, I've already tried to do 3 candida cleanses and it won't go away. What's about that? If that's you, by any chance, go listen to my episode on candida. It's going to be episode 234, because I dive into the fact that candida is not a root cause, and you actually have to effectively get rid of it. You can't do a candida cleanse. You can't do the candida diet. You need to go and do testing for the root causes of candida, but you need to understand what the root causes of the candida are, and I cover that in that episode. So I love collagen protein, but I do recommend, like I have a lot of clients who can't do it because candida overgrowth can be pretty common as a side effect of other gut issues in the body. So it ends up being kind of like clients have to stop doing collagen for a while. And by the time they're like, can't do whey, can't do collagen, that's where we end up in this conversation of what are we doing? But I really do like it. And I add it mainly into baking, but have also done things like smoothies, etc. And there's collagen options that have sweeteners. There have collagen options that don't, etc. So great for your gut as long as you don't have a yeast or fungal overgrowth. Number 3, Be Well by Kelly, grass-fed beef protein. So again, we're back in that clean beef isolate, low reactivity, great for blood sugar responses, which is one of the things the clients mentioned. We had 2 people mention this brand, which is why it's up in the top. Great for highly sensitive guts if you're avoiding peas, pea proteins or vegan proteins, again, with all the plant-based stuff. If you're having oxalate issues, salicylates, plant-based is not going to be your friend. And then, of course, you're avoiding collagen. So a grass-fed beef protein is going to be like kind of the next step up from collagen. And really it's just one of the cleanest minimalist formulas is what our clients mentioned in the recommendation. So I'm going to look it up. Be Well by Kelly, grass-fed beef protein. Cleanest protein on the planet. No, that's somebody else who's putting up an ad. And honestly, there might be other options. I am not saying that this is like I spent hours and hours and hours and hours researching the cleanest stuff. We're really just, my hope is that this just gets you started in the right direction. All right, here we go. Dairy-free, gluten-free, lectin-free, soy-free, hexane-free, preservative-free, stevia-free, erythritol-free, xylitol-free, no fillers, no gums, no added sugar. All right, that is not, just want the ingredients. I think it said 3 ingredients or less. So I'm guessing that's for like maybe they're flavored versus unflavored. But they're unflavored. It's probably just one type of ingredient. Okay. For their chocolate one, they have Swedish grass-fed and grass-finished beef, monk fruit extract, cacao powder. Boom. 3 ingredients. So yeah, it definitely has fewer ingredients than the other beef isolate option. All right. That's Be Well by Kelly, grass-fed beef protein. We'll have the link in the show notes. Next, we have Equip Prime Protein. It works. So this was recommended by 3 clients. So this is another beef isolate. There's a lot of options, apparently. Tastes good, blends well, very easy to digest. All right. So another beef isolate with no gums inside of it. So really gentle on the gut. I'm just going to look it up. I feel like I've seen Equip Prime Protein. No. I must be thinking of something different. Here it is. Equip. So the biggest difference might be like pricing or availability in your area. This one does have more ingredients in it. So I'm looking at the cinnamon roll flavor. Beef protein, coconut sugar, natural flavors, or acacia fiber. There's that fiber might cause issues for people. Low FODMAP diet, bloating issues, candida reactive to SIBO, definitely reactive to like probiotics or fibers, monk fruit extract, sea salt, and cinnamon. So it's not as simple. They have a strawberry one with coconut milk powder, strawberry flavor, vanilla flavor, beetroot juice extract for the redness probably, and then stevia leaf extract. So this one has more flavors, it looks like, than Be Well by Kelly, grass-fed, and it has more ingredients. So maybe that's going to be a better flavor for people, but maybe you're also offsetting potential things that could be irritating. So definitely read ingredients before grabbing it. But onwards to the top one, the one that I actually have in my cabinet, I definitely don't think it's necessarily better than anything else here, because better in many ways for this list is just what you need. Like it's what fits your food sensitivities, your reactivities, your oxalate load, your salicylate load, your symptoms, whatever you feel best on, that's the best one for sure. It's just the one that the most people mentioned when I asked people their opinions, and it's the one that I use the most. So Truvani, plant-based protein. It is a pea protein base. A lot of our clients say, great taste, widely tolerated, community favorite. I would say the one thing I don't like about it, which is one of the reasons I like collagen powder for other scenarios, is that it has this bulkiness to it. It's like very thick and bulky. And I'm guessing that's something I've seen for any plant-based proteins, that you need a lot of it and it doesn't fully dissolve. It has this, at the end of the day, it has kind of like a grainy, heavy feeling. Some people like that because it gets, even without blending it into like a frozen banana smoothie or something, it can feel very thick when you drink it. But I find it very odd that I just mixed it into milk or water and it's like really, really thick. So I usually use like half scoops of it, just because that makes it like a good tolerability. I honestly probably could or should look into some of these other proteins powders to see if I like them more, especially some of this beef protein isolate, which I've not gotten into that game. And it really makes me think that I think it could be a really, really great solution. And I now know several brands to go check out based on my clients' research. So that is it. That's our top 10, with Truvani being at the top. And here's my mini guide. What should you use if you are listening to this? So if you get bloated really easily, I'm going to say stick with the beef protein isolates. You're going to avoid a whole bunch of plant fiber issues and avoid the collagen. So that's the Equip, Paleo Valley, or Be Well by Kelly. You're going to avoid that hemp fiber, rice protein, soy, pea blends, all that. And I think all of them didn't have gums, but I think one of them did. So just check that out before you check out on the cart. If you have candida overgrowth, you either suspect you do or you know you do from testing, definitely avoid anything with collagen. Go to that beef isolate, go to hemp, pumpkin, anything else. If you want plant-based only, you're going to be looking at Truvani, Flav City almond, hemp, pumpkin seed. If you're super sensitive, I'd say probably beef isolate is going to be probably some of the safest ones, but otherwise True Nutrition custom building. That might just be fun if you like a lot of control in what's in your thing, how sweet it is, all that. But I also didn't look at the pricing, so pricing is probably a little higher just because of them blending it for you. But that is it. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Again, as a reminder, if you are looking for just recipes that you can use to maybe put some of these protein powders into, baking recipes, soups, dinners, meals, I have 74 plus, really add to it. I don't know how many it is now, but 74 pages of recipes in my family recipe book that I've made available to you guys. You can go to betterbellytherapies.com/recipes and grab that recipe book. It's the same recipe book I gave to people, or I gave to friends and family when I went on maternity leave, and people wanted to do a meal train for us. So highly recommend that. And then just some additional resources from the podcast. We have episode 171, 3 dairy-free foods for creamy cheeses, sauces, and pizza. It's basically my hack to still eat a very cheesy, creamy lifestyle without needing to rely on vegan products, which honestly I usually feel worse on, and also avoiding cow products. So episode 205, my 5 favorite grain-free bread recipes for a healthy gut. I now have more than those, but all 5 of those have variations of it in our recipe book. Basically, I tweak them to be even better than what's in there. And then episode 116, why going gluten-free hasn't healed your gas and bloating. Episode 279, why going low FODMAP, paleo, or gluten-free hasn't healed your gut. Because those are conversations we need to have, that diet is not enough. Even when I'm having these episodes and talking about hacks to helping make your diet sustainable, energy producing, life-giving, easy, whatever, when you're traveling or on the holidays, those are important conversations. It's one piece of the puzzle, but it's not the entire puzzle, even as a gut health expert. And that maybe even especially as a gut health expert who I think has done her due diligence, really understanding it's not just about food. It can't be. Going gluten-free or going carnivore or whatever diet you're looking at doesn't kill H. pylori or candida or mold, or it doesn't kill any of these things. It helps minimize symptoms and reduce inflammation. And a lot of these diets you can get off of, like I got off the low FODMAP diet when I healed all the other root causes. So yeah, you can eat broccoli again and onions and garlic. And if you've ever been on that diet, you know what I'm talking about. It's a pain. If you've not, imagine not being able to eat things like apples and garlic and onion, and meaning you can't be in your seasoning. It's just a really big pain. And it's very unreasonable. All bodies should be able to process these fermentable sugars. And so if you can't, it's not because you need a diet, it's because you need to fix your body. And that's what we do inside the Better Belly Blueprint. So if you are new to me, I've never heard of Better Belly Blueprint, or you've heard about it and you're like, Allison, tell me again. It is our signature program and process where you literally go through in a DIY course. You can do it at your own pace. You get lifetime access to it, where you start from module 1 and it takes you step by step in every module through everything from knowing what labs you need to order, to ordering them right in the portal, to at wholesale pricing. So you're saving hundreds of dollars because we are not upcharging you on those labs. To analyzing your labs like a functional medicine pro, so better than doctors. I have so many clients who've paid hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars to doctors who miss markers on their labs that they already paid for, like powerful labs that they literally just miss markers. And we give you protocol templates that are proven to work. Everything from H. pylori and Candida, C. diff, mold, to copper toxicity, heavy metals, nutrient deficiencies. We give you all of that and teach you how to modify those to your unique lab results, so that it's a process that's consistent, but nobody's doing the same things at the same time. And basically just, it's not like a one size fits all situation, because not everybody's the same size, both in real life and for like our gut health needs, right? So that, just go to betterbellytherapies.com/blueprint if you want to join. Check it out, grab all that information. That it's all this bona fide information that it's taken me, let's see, what's the math? Almost 8 years, because I started in 2018 and I've been testing all these different methods to get rid of acid reflux and constipation, get people off PPIs and laxatives, no more bloating. We've had clients go into remission on their autoimmune conditions. And I'm talking autoimmune conditions, everything from Hashimoto's and Crohn's disease to extremely rare, only 10 people in the world have this autoimmune disease situation, because autoimmune diseases have a similar backing, or even if you have a genetic disposition to a different autoimmune disease, it's inflammation that's driving that reactivity in the body. So more than I was planning on saying there, but definitely highly recommend that. And if you are like, Allison, I love the idea of this course, this process I can follow, but I don't have the time for it. Maybe you have a lot of brain fog. Maybe you just want somebody else to do that process for you. We do have a VIP option, which is where I do the work for you. And actually, starting in the new year, 2026, I'm no longer going to be taking clients at our current price point. So if you want to have me personally do your VIP plan, I want you to go to betterbellytherapies.com/VIP. It has all the information on the pricing, what's included, a lot of our frequently asked questions, and you can either join there or you can book a free 20-minute application call just to make sure it's a right fit for you, your background, etc. But we've worked with clients with all sorts of history of surgeries and diagnoses and issues that they've had, autoimmune conditions, medicines they've been on. We've been able to help clients work through all those things and heal. And also, VIP is available. We have a pediatric version for children ages 2 through 12. So if your child's age 2 through 12, we can work with them in the pediatric VIP. If they're 12 and up, they can do the Better Belly Blueprint, or they can do our normal kind of adult VIP. So all of that's explained. Go to betterbellytherapies.com/VIP, and we would love to work with you. We'd love to help you heal, so you have a new you, and just the energy and the life and the focus and the skin health and the being pain-free the way you want in 2026. That can be you. You are just a few steps away from that when you join the Better Belly Blueprint or Better Belly VIP. So that is it, guys. Love you all. Can't wait to continue on with our food series here the next few weeks in December. We are all talking about food, because what else are we thinking about in December when all the holidays are happening? Food and travel. So be sure to subscribe if you have not already subscribed to the Better Belly podcast. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Bye.
Hey friend, I hope you loved this episode. If you've been a fan for a while or newly loving this podcast, can you do me a favor? Drop into Apple Podcasts and leave me a review. When you leave a review, you do so much. You help me know you're listening, you can tell me what you're loving so I know what to make more of, and you help others by boosting this podcast so other people like you can find the podcast too. I mean, it's a win-win-win, right? So if you want a way to pay it forward, just go to Apple Podcasts or click the link in my show notes and leave a rating and review. And if you want some more free stuff, just head over to my free Facebook group, betterbellytherapies.com/Facebook, and you can get access to all of my free support for you, including some Facebook group exclusive stuff like my podcast episode vault, where you can search the Better Belly podcast by topic and find exactly what you need to expedite your healing. I cannot wait to see you in there. Catch you guys next week.